Hey, y'all, you crazy babies. What's up? Listen, today was a real treat. Welcome back to the next episode of Jam Sessions with your host, Joe Mycutt. Today we got to sit down with Rick Sentieri, the author of Jaws of Life. Now, this was a wonderful interview, a lot of cool, exciting things. I can't wait for you guys to hear about this really cool book option for you book lovers out there. I will go ahead and give you just a slight warning. There may be some content in this interview that is not appropriate for all ages. There's some strong language regarding death and things like that in this interview, but it is a wonderful interview. So anybody that you need to clear from the room now, go ahead and clear from the room. Otherwise, I'm going to jump off here now and bring to the stage Rick Sentieri, author of Jaws of Life, available on Amazon.com. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, crazy babies. Welcome to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, Joe Mycutt. I'm super excited today to meet a new author. We've got here in the studio, Rick Sentieri. He is the author of Jaws of Life. How are you, Rick?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
thank you so much for just having me. I've seen some of your stuff, and you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, sir. That was a great opening there. I didn't know we were going to get surprised with some beautiful singing there. Fantastic. Welcome to the show, and thank you for jumping on and giving us and the viewers an opportunity to get to know you and to learn about your book. I love a good murder mystery. So starting off with the first question, am I pronouncing it correctly? Who is Zongzi, and what is the Jaws of Life about?
I really don't know how you pronounce the name Zongzi,
Uh-huh.
but it's a rice dumpling made in China, and they would one of the customs on Dragon Festival is they throw the Songzi into the water to help to say a legendary poet of the really old Chinese arts and to try to save his life because he threw himself in the water. So they're trying to throw the Zongzi in there so the fish would eat the Zongzi, not the body of the poet. But that's where I got it from, and it's more like a dream detective series where this Zongzi uses his his dream state to help solve crimes.
Man, that is super cool, and I love the history behind the story behind the choice of that name, and that sounds really cool. That sounds like some poetry, some fantasy world, some murder mystery, some sleuthing, and even a little Freddy Krueger in there that he's fighting crime through his dreams, maybe.
Yes, poetry is a big part of the series, and from the first chapter to all the way to the end chapter, they'll always try to slide some poetry in there.
Oh, fantastic! So it's got something for everybody in there, and that's really cool. I think that's a neat and unique approach to kind of have a murder mystery story, but also
well, it also faces a lot of inner demons of suicidal thoughts. So it does get pretty deep on that level where the character is pushed to his limits, his mental limits.
Okay.
And for us to survive, I believe it's my opinion that your spiritual side of yourself's got to be healthy, just like your intellectual self, or your whatever you're thinking about. You got to think yourself as a spiritual being and be able to relax.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. We hear as above, so below, as without, so within. I think that things in the metaphysical world, if they're not healthy and aligned, they do manifest as physical experiences here in this world. So you're absolutely right.
And here's my plug for the stories I write. I'm easy to find on the net. I do a lot of funny reels, with Mark Twain quotes and stuff like that. But anyways, my stories you can read the first couple, at least a chapter, right online for free on Amazon, because they're available at Amazon. And
fantastic.
Zongzi's journey, the first chapter of the story, is also available on audiobook, which I would suggest to do. I actually did the whole audio book, all the characters myself. It was very fun to put together.
Oh, that's exciting. Absolutely. And I can tell you've definitely got the character to do that. That's really cool. That's even something I want to do with my books, is get into the audio
Well,
books.
you know, I'm a lot like you. I love people. I love
Oh,
I love
absolutely.
interacting. You know, life is so short. It's about this, me and you talking and everything. And I really appreciate you spending time to even hear anything about my stories. But Zongzai's Journey is a really a good must read. You know, I'm very religious, but I don't want to say what kind of religion to push my religion on
Oh,
you. But when in a couple of the victims of the murders in my book, what does a victim say just before they get murdered? They usually talk to God. So
right.
I have actually a few prayers written in Shoestring Strangler, which was the second edition of Zongzai's Journey.
Hey
But
man, that's amazing. I love that you've tied so many things into this story. It sounds like it's multi-layered. So it sounds like a great literary experience for anybody that wants to read it.
well,
And definitely.
it's very therapeutic to be for me, because you know I've dealt with depression, suicidal thoughts, and my brother, my beloved brother, committed suicide, and he had a heart of gold. He's a very good person, and for me, you know, it's something we should. It's the elephant in the room of depression and stuff like that. And I think if we just attack it every day, it'll get smaller and smaller where we can handle it.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. I think that's beautiful. And again, you're part of a community of authors and artists who are taking the difficult things in life and making something better and beautiful out of them. So thank you for that. Now, what inspired the Zongzai series? What was the initial launching of that for you?
Well, Zongzai's Journey, I have just get off track one more time. I have a audio book that's free on SoundCloud. It's called Herman the Black Squirrel, and it's actually like a children's story for them to understand about death. Because what a lot of my initial get into writing and stuff like that was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. I don't know if you know that it was about, but she was a nurse who was always there where people were dying in their last moments.
Yes.
Where some of them came back to tell her about out of body experiences.
Sure.
And so that's what the Zongzai's whole epic is about, is the out of body experience of dream states. And it's about yes, it's just about you know, helping your fellow person out. You know, it's what I like. I said, my motto: by helping others, you help yourself.
Absolutely. We cross the finish line together. Now tell me one more time that children's book and where it's located.
It's a free audio book called Herman the Black Squirrel. You can use my name and also search it on SoundCloud, but that's a free download.
Okay, I want to check that out. I'm also the author of a children's book.
I just want to push one more too. It's kind of like a teenage book I wrote. It's called The Farmer's Woods. It's an audio book available on audiobook.com, and you can find it by searching through Amazon.
Okay,
but that's also a good book.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm personally so intrigued by the Herman the Black Squirrel. I wrote a children's book called Beautiful Boy, and it touches on some of the heavier issues that children deal with. And I think that's important to build into the stories for children.
Well, one more, I get to brag on Herman the Black Squirrel. Did win an award in Australia at one time.
Really?
Yes, that was and you know, the thing is with it, I have a little black squirrel outside that comes pretty close to me all the time, and I just get a kick off and bring him a little nut out there for him.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, congratulations. We're talking
I appreciate the interview, and you're doing a great job online. Thank you.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you. We're talking to an award-winning author here. That's wonderful. Now, what was most fun for you about the writing process for this series or in general? What do you enjoy the most about writing?
Just getting in a quiet space and getting in touch with your inner self, your feelings, and trying to express yourself. It's artistic escape.
Absolutely. Beautiful. And in the book, Jaws of Life, without spoiling anything, give us a cliffhanger. What would be one of your favorite scenes or favorite parts of the book that stand out to you that you might remind readers to look for when they're reading your book?
There is a decapitation that takes place.
Ooh, okay.
The murderer holds the head and looks into the eyes of the person he just decapitated. That's a really good scene.
Okay.
Should read that a couple times.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we asked and we got the answer, didn't we?
You did.
Okay. Hey, I'm excited. This is some good stuff. Now, the last question is: will there be a part 4 to this series? And if so, what can the readers look forward to in that?
Of course, part? Of course. It's the new installment's called "School Bus Massacre," with the Zongzai's 4th installment.
School Bus Massacre. Okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a good story.
Fantastic. Listen, hey, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on today. Again, this is Rick Sentieri. He is the author of Jaws of Life, which you can find on Amazon.com. Be sure to go on, grab his book, check it out, and leave him a review to let him know what you thought of it.
Thanks for helping me, and I hope I helped you out a little bit. And absolutely. God bless you, brother, and happy holidays.
And thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. All right, guys, that was Rick Sentieri. He is the author of Jaws of Life, as well as some other children's books and audio books that I highly recommend you check out. I personally am really excited about the Herman the Black Squirrel, as well as the Jaws of Life. There's some heavy material in there. It sounds really cool, like he's taken a murder mystery style book and incorporated some of his spiritual beliefs and some prayers, as well as some poetry. So it's a multifaceted book. I highly recommend that you go check it out. It's on Amazon.com. He was a real treat. He sang for us there at the beginning, and I didn't capture it on camera, but he played me a few bars on the harmonica, and he was super talented and extremely friendly guy. So thank you, Rick Sentieri, for joining us today. You guys go check out his book, and if you do on Amazon, buy his book, leave him a review and let him know what you thought of his book, and help him get that out there and keep the algorithm staying live on his book. So thank you again for joining us for this episode of Jam Sessions. We'll see you tomorrow with another author. Bye, crazy babies.